I got this crown for when we had to dress up as a historical figure for a project in 7th grade. Can you guess who I was? Yeah, that's right. I was Princess Diana. I watched the Bridgerton Netflix TV show. I didn't mean to. It was just like I started the first episode and then I just finished it in like 2 or 3 days. So, you know, I had some level of restraint. I think I'm just gonna go through like character by character and give my thoughts. Also, by the way, my name is Mandeep, or Mandeep if you can pronounce it. Subscribe if you, I don't know, if you feel like it, I guess. I don't. Alright, I'm just gonna be looking down at my laptop, so. Bridgerton is basically Gossip Girl meets The Crown or Reign or insert any historical drama here. It really is peak messy white people drama. We love to see it. Maybe I'll even do a ranking. Let me see. All right, we're back. I just had to make a tier list real quick for all the characters. So my categories are absolute legend, messy bitch who lives for drama, who, seek help, and exiled by Lady Whistledown. So let's see. We'll start off with Anthony. I really hated him in the beginning. He was super sexist and misogynistic. He kept trying to control all the women around him. And I'm like, bro, take care of your own house first. Like, this man has so many issues. Was anyone else getting incest vibes when he kept scaring off all of Daphne's suitors? Like, bro, take care of yourself. God. Wait, okay, you know what was really satisfying? When Violet, you know, Mrs. Bridgerton, like, she came for him. Like,
I am resolved to handle matters differently in the future.
Or perhaps not at all. I know society has dictated your present role in this family, Anthony, but with Daphne officially out, I assure you I am more than capable.
she told him exactly what he needed to hear. And that's why he did get a little bit better near the end of the season. But then he kept going back to like Sienna, the opera singer, even though like she had already made it very clear that she's not interested. Leave her alone. So also, he was just so annoying. Like when Simon was like fake courting Daphne and then real courting her, and then I don't know, messy. Actually, can I say something that might be unpopular? Did anyone else think when Simon and Anthony, like when they all find each other in like that dark garden or whatever, and Anthony's like, you gotta marry my sister now, bro. And Simon's like, I can't do it. I promise. I made a vow to my dad, who's dead, that I would never marry or have children. And it's like, we'll get to that. But when they decide to duel, it was ridiculous. But did anyone else think it was like kind of hot too? Like, men really just don't be putting their lives on the line like they used to. Like, I'm trying to get a man that would risk death for me. Anyway, so Anthony, he did get better near the end of the series. He did learn that women are people. Maybe we should respect them. You could tell that they were kind of pushing it too, because there was a point when the prince asks him for Daphne's hand in marriage, and he's like, I said, it's the woman's choice. And he really like took a step back and he was like, I'll wait for your applause. Like, okay, Anthony, congratulations. You learned feminism 101. Gloria Steinem would be so proud. So I'm gonna put him in seek help, because while he is a messy bitch who lives for drama, that category is reserved for people who I also like. And at this point, I could take him or leave him, you know? All right, next up is Benedict. I don't even know if I can say too much about him other than the fact that he had an orgy with that painter. I guess that was kind of interesting. Did anyone else think he was just so boring? Like, he was so boring. It's like crazy how boring he was. Like, I don't know why. Cause like, I mean, I guess objectively he's kind of interesting, right? Like, he's trying to be a painter. But then Eloise really was right when she was like, listen, you're a man. If you have dreams, then just go do them. And then I'm like, okay, damn, you're right though. So his character being like too afraid to pursue art, like he's not the first son, he's not a woman, and he's a bachelor. So I'm like, the world is yours, my man. Just go paint, go have orgies. I'm gonna put him in who? Because I think that's being generous, honestly. Like, okay, next up is our little white woman queen. Can I take this off? No, it's the look. I have to keep it. Daphne. Okay. Let's see. I have mixed feelings because I started off thinking, oh, she's probably going to be annoying. And then I was like, I kind of warmed up to her. And then she got kind of annoying again with the whole Simon and kids thing. And then she did that thing. Because it's like Simon doesn't want to have kids because of his whole thing with his father. He's like, the bloodline ends with me, which is objectively a very sexy thing to say. And she'd been assuming that he couldn't have kids, like biologically, but then she finds out that he just didn't want to have kids. And then she gets mad at him for that. But it's like, it wouldn't have changed anything, right? Because before they got married, Simon says, I can't have kids. And he doesn't clarify that it's because he doesn't want them. But the message that's communicated is the same, which is the end result is you want kids, I don't want kids, right? Like that's what it is. And so she acts so shocked, but it's like, y'all were probably gonna get married regardless, so like why are you so mad? Yes, technically it's a lie by omission, but like barely. And then she like he in the show he very clearly says like wait, and it's basically like wait, stop, you know, and she just keeps going until he eventually does his business inside her. And like he very clearly did not want that. And the show doesn't address like the insane consent issue that was going on there. They kind of just move past it and go back into Daphne being angry at Simon about lying. So that whole thing really pushed me down. So I think I'll put it at seek help. I think she could benefit from some therapy. Let's see, Colin. I don't know. I feel like he was barely in the show until like near the end when they kind of needed him for Marina's plotline. I think he's kind of like Benedict. Like I don't have anything to. Can y'all hear the? I don't know. He didn't really have much of a character. I thought he was nice when he kind of saved Penelope in the beginning from like how evil her sisters were being. Oh God, we'll get to Penelope. I'm gonna put him as, and then I hated how he treated Marina afterwards. Like I know it's like accurate to the time, but just shut up. He sounded so childish and whiny. Is he? I think he's like the youngest brother, but I'm pretty sure they said he was older than Daphne. So, I'm gonna put him in who? No, should I put him in who or seek help? I'll put him in who. I'll be nice. Because hopefully he'll be seeking help in his whole travels abroad. Next up, our queen, Lady Danbury. Obviously, she's going an absolute legend. I loved her. Like, I already liked her. And then you see, like, Simon's tragic backstory. Another thing we'll get to. And it just makes you love her like 100 times more. I love her. I want her to adopt me. And she's basically the one that like moves the plot along. There was a point where I thought maybe she was Lady Whistledown, but Lady Whistledown's kind of a bitch. So, and I know my queen, Lady Danbury, would never do anything like that. So, all right, next up, Eloise, another queen. I gotta say, she was so funny. The actress, I love her voice, right? I loved her whole thing of like, I don't want to be married. Like, what are you supposed to do when you grow up in a patriarchal society and you want more than marriage and children? But I do like also, because there was an exchange at one point between Eloise and Penelope where you know, Eloise is like saying something about how she doesn't want to get married, and then Penelope's like, you have the privilege of saying stuff like that because you come from a rich family and a good family, and you have the social standing to like fall back on. And some of us don't have that privilege. And I'm like, okay, T. Like, I think that's something that we might miss with Eloise, and sometimes you see that a lot even in modern day, where like you see a lot of these people that are like, it's like you have good intentions, you have good goals, but at the end of the day, a lot of that can come from a place of privilege. And like I think Eloise did need like that wake-up call, you know. But I will put her an absolute legend because she was so funny. Her little expressions stole every scene she was in. We love her. Next up, Miss Featherington. All right, so y'all might be mad at me for this one, but I can't lie. I kind of liked Mrs. Featherington. Like, she's kind of a bitch, but like, I love evil women. And like, I know know a lot of the grief from Marina's storyline comes almost directly from Mrs. Featherington, but Marina's storyline was already kind of fucked before that. So I love an evil villain. Like, she's so like villainous. You know, like her fashion is so gaudy. She has like the bright, vivid orange curls. Her makeup is like a lot more gaudier than Violet, Mrs. Bridgerton. Like, I don't know. And she's so like single-mindedly like, we will marry into a good family. I will have all my daughters be in good standing. So I will put her in messy bitch who lives for drama. Also, I know that the ending of season 1 had kind of an unclear ending for Marina. But I feel like near the end, Marina and Mrs. Featherington almost had like kind of an understanding between one another, where it was like, we're both women living in a deeply patriarchal society and we're just trying to navigate it. And there's even that point where Marina tells Mrs. Featherington like, hey, let me try and work this thing out with Colin and then we'll both get what we want. I don't have to marry this an ugly old white guy, and you and your daughters by extension will get like really good social standing. And like, you know, Mrs. Featherington agrees to it. Yeah, partly because it's beneficial to her, but also because I feel like maybe she saw a little bit of her own cleverness in Marina. In the next season, if Marina does end up coming back or like interacts with like the main cast at all, I would love to see like, I don't know, some kind of like something where like they work together or like they come to like some kind of understanding, because I don't know, I would just love to see it. All right, next up, the queen herself, Marina. They did my girl so dirty. I haven't read the books. Apparently in the books, she's like barely a character and then she commits suicide and dies before like the plot even begins. So interesting choice to bring her in and then make her the only woman of color lead out of the entire cast. I think we should unpack that, honestly. So out of all of these debutantes, socialites, rich little privileged girls, Marina is a distant cousin of the Featheringtons. She gets sent to their family for her debut season, and her storyline ends up being a single unmarried mother. So basically she keeps getting called like a whore and like classless, and I'm like, okay, great. A bunch of rich white women calling this young black woman classless and a whore. And also, I think we should also touch on the fact that there's very clearly a colorism problem here. I think Lady Danbury is like the darkest black female lead in the entire cast, and she's not really a primary character, honestly. The queen is very light-skinned. Marina is very light-skinned. Will is a dark-skinned man. He's like the boxer. Really hot, by the way. His wife is very light-skinned, and then Simon's dad was dark-skinned. And then you cut to like the scene where his mom was giving birth and his mom was light-skinned, like lighter skinned than Simon is. But yeah, it sucks that they gave Marina this storyline. It was terrible. I hated it. She kept getting handed L after L after L, and I'm just like, please, can my girl catch a break? When Daphne sent off that letter to the general to like ask after George, and then George's older brother shows up and is like, he died. Like, I wasn't like emotionally invested enough to cry, but if I was, I would have cried in that moment, because not even because I was so moved, mostly because I feel so bad for Marina. Like, can she please catch a fucking break? But then again, she does share like another bonding moment with Mrs. Featherington where she's like, how do you live with someone that you don't love? Like, how do you stay married to someone that you don't love? And then Mrs. Featherington is like, you learn to find things to love about them. And I was like, that's very touching. So Marina, absolute legend. You deserved so much better, queen. Penelope, the way my view on her did such a 180. So like, first, you know, you feel kind of bad for her, but you also like her because she's very sweet. And also the actress is the wee lesbian from Derry Girls. So of course I was already like predisposed to like her, but then she kind of got that whole like nervous jealousy thing with Marina. And I already didn't like that. And I guess she is like a child, so she is gonna react immaturely to like the guy she's crushing on another person. And as someone who's like also like been made to feel insecure about their looks, he falls in love with someone who's getting a lot more male attention than you. So yeah, that's bound to make anyone upset, and I could forgive that. But then I mean, I already kind of suspected after like Lady Whistledown like blew the whistle. Am I the first person to make that joke? Probably not. Wait, is that why she's called Lady Whistledown? Anyway, when Lady Whistledown put the whole thing in the papers about Marina being pregnant, and not just being pregnant, but being pregnant before she got to town, I was like, there's no way anyone could know anything that specifically. And also the way how like when Eloise kept trying to find out who it was, and Penelope kept being like, I don't care, I don't care. I'm like, okay, so it's probably Penelope. And then like it did kind of throw me off when they were like, oh, it's Delacroix, the seamstress, and I was like, that's kind of disappointing, like, because it really seemed like that's how they were gonna end it, but then it's like, okay, yeah, it is her. The fact that she aired all of Marina's dirty laundry for everyone, not only bringing down Marina, like, it's so evil, like, it's so mean. Like, I don't know how you can come back from that. Like, not only did she bring down Marina and destroy her reputation, she also destroyed her own family's reputation. Like, now none of her sisters, oh wait, but her sisters were kind of bitches, so, but still, you know, like she destroyed her entire family's like chances of even joining society again. And I'm like, was it worth it? It might be ironic, but I'm gonna say exiled by Lady Whistledown. Someone's gotta do it. All right, next up, the Queen. I'm kind of divided on this one because at her very core, she is truly a messy bitch that lives for drama. But then she also gets like some development with the fact that King George like is clearly going through something, but we also don't know much about her. She didn't get too much development. I think we'll be good just putting her as messy bitch who lives for drama. All right, Simon. I can't say this actor's name.
Roger Jean Page.
But he's so hot. Like, he's so hot. Like, I really thought I wouldn't like him because I don't really like the cocky, I'm never gonna fall in love, I'm never gonna marry types. But I don't know if it was like just how hot the actor is, but I liked him. And I also did like how they developed Daphne and Simon's relationship. And okay, so when they got into like his tragic backstory, it was like very tragic to the point that it was like almost a parody of itself because like the dad was so evil. Like, why was he so evil? And again, getting into like the colorism of the show, it's like the dad was easily one of the most darker skinned people in the cast, and he was awful. Like, he was very terrible. He's like constantly like abusing Simon physically, emotionally, mentally, and treats the mom basically like a breeding cow. I don't know. It's like, but it was like so exaggerated. And it did kind of make me like Simon more, I guess. But if you have to rely on abuse and like a tragic backstory to make your character more likable, then you're just not a very good writer. So yeah, but I did like Simon. I think I'll put him in messy bitch who lives for drama because he is a messy bitch who lives for drama. He kept telling Daphne we can't be together, but then he's like chasing her after the gardens and kissing her, and then Anthony finds out, and then he immediately agrees to the duel because he's a messy bitch who lives for drama. Once again, that duel was really hot. I'm telling y'all, we need to have men compete in more duels to the death. Like, men don't be risking their lives like they used to. All right, last but perhaps least, Violet or Lady Bridgerton. I don't know. There were moments that I really liked her character, like when she was like telling off Anthony. And I also like how nice she was. Like, she was like, I was expecting all the moms in this to be like my queen, Mrs. Featherington. But she was like actually a very nice mom. She's loving and stuff. I do think Daphne was completely within her rights to like also get like dress her down. Like, you never prepared any of us for the real world, for real marriage. I have gone into the world unprepared, naive. I have no idea what to do with my marriage and how to act within society. And like, you did this, like you sent me into the world unprepared. So I don't know. She's actually kind of like the hardest one to place. She's not an absolute legend. She's definitely not a messy bitch. I can't really say like who. Seek help. Maybe she needs help. Exiled by Lady Whistledown. I couldn't see her doing anything that would get her exiled. I guess I'll put her in seek help. I think she needs therapy. I think all of these people need therapy, honestly. But yeah, so that's my ranking. Here it is. I'll put her on the screen. Aside from the issues that I already discussed, like the colorism, the consent issues with regards to Daphne and Simon, and the treatment of Marina, the only woman of color in the main cast, I did enjoy the show. It was really easy to get through. Like, it's very bingeable. And yeah, at the end of the day, we do love to see messy, rich people drama. So yeah, it's like, I think it's a good show to end the year on. But having said that, I will link some articles in the description that I think are good paired reading for watching this show. And my heater just turned on, so hopefully you can still hear me over that. Thank you to everyone that subscribed and been watching my videos. I posted my first video at the end of November, and my goal was to get to like 100 subscribers before the end of the year, and I think I'm at 300 right now, which is crazy. And I'm super grateful to anyone that's like decided to subscribe. I know this year has been really rough for all of us. Here's hoping 2021 is no, you know what? I'm not even gonna say it. Like, I'm just gonna go in with like no expectations and hope for the best. But yeah, I'm wishing all of you a happy new year and lots of good luck and good vibes coming your way for 2021. Thanks.